Coach, every time Chicago built any kind of a lead, especially in the second half, you guys closed it and you kept coming back and you kept coming back. But what was it that made it so difficult to just get over the hump?
Well, I mean, losing Cat and then just, a little bit of kind of misfortune here, whether it be ours turnovers or just needed to make a layup or so small. It's really small plays. We had got a great stop and we turned it over on an outlet pass and just little things like that. I think we're really proud of the guys with the way they kept fighting back, especially on a back-to-back. Effort was awesome. And, they really rose to the challenge.
Jared Vanderbilt had maybe his best game as a Timberwolf, and I know you haven't seen him all season, but what did you think of Vando tonight?
Oh, I loved his energy. I mean, just at both ends of the floor, just making plays, keeping the ball alive, getting extra possessions, playing with some force and physicality. That's what we need. We asked the guys to kind of fly around a little bit more tonight, and I thought he led the way.
John, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, with a day or two off here, what do you think, or what are going to be some areas that you want to look at defensively that maybe you can kind of just address early and try and fix to go forward here?
Yeah, John, we really got to start concentrating on shoring up our paint. The last night's game and then the first half of tonight's game, we really kind of let them drive to the paint too easily. And we're trying to influence certain things, but we got to take away the paint right now and shore up our defense. And I really liked in the second half how we got into the ball better. We sent it the direction we wanted to send it. We made life harder. And then when we got beat, we were a little late in some of our rotations. But again, these are things I think we're going to have to be a little more aggressive going and trying to cut off these driving angles right now.
And then with Edwards, when you look at his mixture of jumper versus drive, what do you like there? What don't you like, and how do you kind of get him going a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, with his downhill ability, I'd like to see 2/3 drive and a third jumper out of him, and he's starting to kind of figure it out a little bit. And I told the last play where he went downhill and created the contact at the rim and put the pressure on the official to make the call, and he got the call. And we need more of that. I think he has that ability. And one of the hardest things for guys when they first come in the league is play these bigs that are down the floor because they think that that there's a lot of space, so they often settle. But that's exactly what they want you to do.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, just how much of a kind of a jolt to the system was it when Carl fouled out, and in terms of just having to reorient everything headed into the last possession and then into overtime there?
Yeah, I think a little bit deflating for our guys. He gives you a guy to go to when the ball's in his hands. Things feel calm. He did a great job of creating again for his teammates. But first half, he was out for most of the first half too, so it wasn't just the end of the game. But when you look at his numbers, I mean, his impact in the game, he played 31 minutes, in the end, but he still had a great night, I thought. And he played through a lot of, frustrating moments out there.
Did you have a good angle on the foul, or did you get an explanation on what happened on the foul?
I did, and it was on the other side of the floor from me. The explanation was that he hit him on the arm with his hand, but I thought it was more of a hip check if it was anything. So,
Jace, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, it seems like Carl throughout his career really gets called for about an illegal screen a game. Have you seen anything there early that you can work on to correct, or is it a tempo thing, or what have you seen just early on so far?
Well, he does a great job of screening. That's first and foremost. There's a lot of guys in the league now are slipping out of screens so they don't really make a lot of contact. But I don't really know. It's illegal screens, one of those calls. You just never know when it's coming. You just hope it's not coming at the wrong time. It was 80% of the screens that are set out there are illegal in some capacity and mostly not called. I think, it's a bit unfortunate with, I thought that play in the first half that you're talking about, I thought it was, if they were going to call anything, it was maybe a push off on Ricky. I was shocked when I found out it was actually on Cat.
And then what is the key maybe for young guys, especially like when you want them to play with pace and making sure that they play with pace while maintaining defensive integrity? Because some teams do it really well, but with young guys, maybe is that a learning process?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, your defensive transition starts with your shot selection. And, we've been preaching to them, and it's only a short amount of time, and, we'll get there. But we don't want to confuse playing with pace with shooting quickly. I mean, it's not the same thing. So we want to play with pace and make quicker decisions. And we don't care if the shot comes with 4 seconds on the shot clock. But if it's a good one and it's open right away, we'll take that too.
Dane, go ahead.
Coach, kind of following up on that Cat foul question, just because it has been an issue for a lot of his career, just in times where he's been in foul trouble. And I guess I'm wondering, is it like, what's kind of the opportunity cost of maybe not using him in screening situations as much, or maybe not having him be the drop big, so he isn't fouling as much? Do you just still kind of just have to live with that?
Yeah, I don't foresee us having to change Cat's game to avoid foul trouble. It happens every once in a while. I know he plays physical, he plays hard, he contests every shot, he contests every pass. Like, for the most part, he's putting himself in the mix. And when that happens, he's going to foul, and fouls are going to happen. And he said to me, leaving one timeout, he said, we were running a play, and I was thinking about adjusting. He said, "Don't worry, I'll get him open." And that's what you want. That's what you want. Fourth quarter fouls are different than the first 3 fouls. And I think he got some fouls, and maybe, as the game escalates physically, maybe just got the wrong side.
Last question, Leo, go ahead.
Coach Finch, question for you regarding Jaden McDaniels. So we didn't really get to see him much in the second half or in overtime. I know obviously Jared Vanderbilt was playing well, but, did you have any thought or ideas to try and incorporate him into the lineup late?
We did. I mean, we're kind of keeping it a little bit fluid right now. Just, some of it matchup orientated, some of it's also just me trying to figure out, what guys can do in certain situations. The teams that were out there that brought us back into the game had a good rhythm. I was trying to stick with those guys for the most part. Jaden's really played well of late, and I'm sure he'll continue to do that when he gets his opportunities, and he'll get them. We're committed to him.